So this one is gonna go right over there where the old saltwater aquarium used to be. Holy shrimp, that's a lot of them. So the cabinet is now completely empty, all the tanks are gone. We have some company. So I just got the confirmation that my brand new custom-made shallow is finally on its way, but that means we have a lot of work to do. So I ordered a shallow tank with the exact same dimensions as one of these IKEA Besta cabinets. So it's 120 centimeters or 4 foot from left to right, and then the width is basically 40 centimeters. So that means that either this one or this one has to be emptied. And the tanks on the left are still very new. These 3 tanks are a little bit older, so I'm thinking of emptying these tanks. Well, I'm going to move the saltwater tank, but the vase and the cube on the left, and those 2 have to go. Yeah, so the saltwater aquarium I'm going to move downstairs to a new location. So this one is pretty easy. I just have to drain it 75% so the fish can just stay inside, and it should be light enough to carry. Then I can just bring it downstairs, fill it back up again, and that's done. Then my no filter rotating vase, this one is quite old already. It's not in the best condition anymore. So I'm just going to take it down. So I'll catch all the fish, I'll catch all the shrimp. See if I want to save some plants. There's some really nice Bucephalandra's in here. But yeah, this one will just be taken down. Yeah, and the same for this cube. This one is not that old yet. It's only a couple of months old. And it still looks pretty good. So it's a bit of a shame that I have to take it down. But yeah, we're making space for something very exciting. So it just has to be done. Alright, so let's not waste any time. I'm going to start with the easy job first. Let's move the saltwater aquarium downstairs. Okay guys, I think that's enough. Let's move the light. Let's see if I can carry this. Walking down the stairs is going to be fun with this. Okay, we made it guys. So this one is going to go right over there where the old saltwater aquarium used to be. Recently took that one down because it was just in really poor condition. Basically the tank was infested with something called vermided snails, which is like a pest, and it irritates other corals, so corals just basically stop growing. So I took all the good stuff out, all the inhabitants and everything that I could save. I took it out, moved it to my new setup, which is a saltwater bowl, and then I just took that tank down. Just want to replace it with this one. Still not sure if I'm going to keep this tank or if I just get rid of it. I think the glass does have some scratches, so maybe I just, yeah, get rid of it. Yeah, so those 2 tanks basically had the same footprint, so it fits perfectly on this little column. It looks good as well. Before I fill it back up again, I'm just going to quickly clean the glass because, you know, there's some algae, there's some gunk on the glass, and it's a good opportunity to give it a good clean. Here we go, fully up and running again. Looks pretty good in this corner. I also upgraded the in and outflow to the Aquario Neo Flow, which I'm probably going to regret in a couple of weeks because it's even more maintenance, but it does look pretty cool, you know, really minimalistic in and outflow. I just need to make a little bit more salt water so we can raise the water level a little bit, and I need to clean the wave maker that we had over here. Yeah, besides that, we're done. Moving on to the next one. I mean, this is not going to be that difficult either. It's just going to take a long time for me to catch all the shrimp. It's probably the most tedious job. I'm going to bucket here. Just going to take all the plants and hardscape out. Then I can just sort through the plants later, see what I want to keep. Yeah, there's not really a pretty way of doing it. You just have to get in and get your hands dirty. Holy shrimp. That's a lot of them. Let's see how long it's going to take to catch all of them. It is currently 11:40. I'm thinking 30 minutes or so. I think I have all of them. You managed to separate the shrimp and the fish. We have some chili rasboras, some exclamation point rasboras and phoenix rasboras, and then a bunch of white pearl shrimp. And I managed to do it in less than 20 minutes. Not too bad. Alright, so the shrimp can go in here. This is the tank that Mark Goodwin escaped in my place 2 weeks ago. Probably in a couple months I have double the amount of shrimp in. And then the rasboras are going to go in here. It's like a little plant holding system, I guess. I don't really have a suitable escape for these rasboras at the moment, so I'll just keep them in here. Okay, so that is the end of the rotating vase. I'll definitely hold on to it, but yeah, I'll just put it in storage. So let me know in the comments if I should do another rotating vase in the future, or if you guys didn't really enjoy it, let me know as well. I'll take all the aquasol out and I'll clean it and I'll put it in storage. And then we can move on with tank number 3. Actually, I'm a little bit sad that I have to take this one down because it still looks really good. I was actually looking around the studio, see if I can, put it somewhere else, but there's just no space. So I guess we need to start looking at a bigger studio. Yeah, let's just get it over with. Let's just rip off the band-aid. Let's take this one down as well. Okay guys, it's the next day. Just wanted to take a moment to show you guys the reef tank because I think it looks really good in this corner, especially after I cleaned yesterday as well. Like right now it's looking amazing. This morning, before I closed the curtains, there was also some sunlight in the tank, looking really good. So yeah, I'm happy with the decision to move in here. The only thing that doesn't seem to be happy is this coral on top over here. As you can see, it's like completely closed. Normally it looks way different. Not sure why, maybe it's because the flow has actually increased quite a lot. I actually haven't placed the wave maker back in the tank because after switching to the Aquarium Neo flow, the output of the filter is just a lot better. So right now we actually have a decent flow in the entire aquarium, so I don't think we need that wave maker anymore. And it just looks a lot better without it as well, But if the coral on top stays closed, I'm going to try pointing the flow in that direction, see if that helps. Now most of you know that I recently became an official Seachem brand ambassador. So I want to start using some Seachem products on this reef tank as well. So we have Reef Trace, Reef, what was this again? Reef Plus, and then some nitrate, phosphate and potassium as well. Because in this tank I also have macroalgae. And macroalgae is basically just like plants. And they need nutrients as well, And yeah, I just want to see if I can get some faster coral and some faster macroalgae growth in this tank. Okay, so half a cup of Reef Trace. Then also half a cup of the Reef Plus. This is amino acids and vitamins. Back to our project. So the cabinet is now completely empty, all the tanks are gone. The shallow is not here yet. Fingers crossed it's coming tomorrow. So I was thinking to already install the light. Because I need to hang the light from the ceiling here, the sloped ceiling. And MJ is not very good at DIY, but I think hanging a light should be possible. Oh yeah, we also need to do a little bit of painting because somehow I managed to damage the paint behind the tanks. So I need to fix that as well. So this is a huge box. For the shallow tank, I decided to go with a Chihiro's light. This is the Chihiro's WRGB Slim, the 120cm version, but somehow the box is bigger than the cabinet. Here we go. WRGB to Slim 120. Okay, so we have the light itself, then we have the power supply over here. Not sure what's in here, but I think it's just all the accessories for the tank mount. But of course, because we're using it on a shallow tank, we're not going to mount it on the rim of the glass because it looks a little bit ridiculous on a shallow tank. We want to mount it on the ceiling, have that as a pendant light basically. So I also bought a Chihiro's hanging kit, and this one is specifically designed for the RGB Slim. We have some company. So there's no instructions in the hanging kit on how to do it. So I just found a YouTube video on the Chihiro's Aquatic Studio YouTube channel. Looks pretty straightforward though. You basically just have to put a few pieces together until you have this setup right here. And then this basically slides in from the side. Okay, now I'm a little bit stuck because I've installed those two hanging brackets on both sides. But in the hanging kit, there's nothing included to attach it to the ceiling. There is a little bit of, wire cable here, but that's it. So I think we're gonna have to make a trip to the hardware store. So I was hoping that the hardware store would have something like this, just a nice, clean solution. This comes standard with the skylight, by the way. But they didn't, so we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way with some hooks. So to help me make sure I get the light as even as possible, I actually bought a laser level. That's pretty cool. Okay guys, I think I've actually managed to do it. Now I just need to raise the light, but that should be easy. I just need to tighten those cables. I think that's sort of centered. Okay, I think we are all ready for a test run. Boom! And that was light. WRGB2 Slim. Confirm. What's the name of your tank? 120 centimeter shallow. Okay, firmware update's done. So I think it's all working. Red, green, booze, fish, shrimp, and all. Does look pretty good though, right? I could have probably gone for a 90 centimeter version, but I want to make sure we have enough light. Okay, the light is done, painting is done. Let's move on to the filter. I've ordered Noasa Biomaster 250, and none of this stuff is sponsored, by the way, guys. The light and filter I just bought with my own money. Yeah, so I went with the smallest Biomaster, the 250. This one does 900 liters per hour. And I mean, we only have a shallow tank, I think the total volume of the shallow tank is maybe 120 liters, something like that. But that's without all the substrate in the hardscape, of course. So it comes with a ton of accessories, but most of it I'm not going to use. I just need these two things for the hose. And then I also need those rubber feet to go underneath the filter to reduce the vibrations. Everything else I'm not going to use. Then let's see what we have inside the filter. Sponges, more sponges, more sponges, and then this stuff. Not really a huge fan of this biomedia, is it? I think it's biomedia. I think we have a better solution for that. Of course, we're going to use some Secam matrix. This is 500 milliliters, and it says here that 500 milliliters treats 400 liters, so we definitely have enough. So I'm thinking first a sponge, then a basket with the Secam matrix. Then on top of that, I'm going to add a bag of Secam Purigen. This basically makes your water go really crystal clear. So for example, if you have some tannins in your water from the wood, the stuff absorbs all of it. So we have a sponge, then we have matrix with Purigen, then we go with another sponge, one more sponge, and then I think that's it. Close it up again. Okay, so that is the filter ready to go as well. Well guys, it is now Friday, and unfortunately the shallow tank is still not here. It has just arrived in the Netherlands, but I'm thinking it'll probably be delivered on Monday. So I guess we'll just leave it at this, and then the next episode next week will just be the delivery of the tank, and then we'll do the hardscape and everything as well. So for now, this is it. Guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.